Good evening and welcome to everybody who's joined us this evening. We are recording live on Finding Voices Radio this Sunday, the 22nd of July, 2012. It is 7 p.m. local time here in the Netherlands, which has finally seen some sunshine this weekend, and thank Gaia for that. Welcome, of course, to those of you who may be new to the show. My name is Mel V, and I'll be your host for the next 2 hours. Dealing with all the technical issues and, of course, fielding the chat forum is my husband, Richard. So if you would like to please get involved, there is a new and improved function on the chat forum available on findingvoicesradio.com. And, of course, do feel free to send in any questions or interact with other people on the forum. And, of course, we will try to get to the questions, but we do have a lot this evening. So no promises, but tonight is going to be a busy show. So I'm just going to dive straight in. Okay. All right. As many of you know, Freedom Central have been ardent supporters of Robert Green and his pursuit in justice for Hollie Greig, who apparently there are some allegations that Hollie Greig has been abused as a child, which were made by her mother and has turned into an internationally recognized campaign around the world. But the accused have hit back, saying that the evidence is flawed and unsubstantiated, and that they have never really been given a fair platform to say anything about this. The Hollie Greig Hoax group has grown in momentum and support and have been successful at convincing many in the truth movement and the justice-seeking community that Hollie Greig and the Hollie Greig case is in fact a hoax. And in fact that she was never abused, and the whole thing is either just a massively co-opted distraction, which looks like there could be evidence for that, considering some of the people who were involved in spearheading the publicity and spreading all the campaigns all over the world. And I myself have, through my own independent research, found out things about these people through my own experience, and I can verify some of this information for myself. But the other option is, of course, that this is all the machinations of one potentially very sick woman, Anne Greig. Now, we don't know what the story is, and of course, we at Freedom Central have spent a great deal of time campaigning for Hollie Greig. We even went all the way up to Edinburgh, and this is the famous Edinburgh trip where we weren't allowed into a conference after funding our trip ourselves to get there. We were turned away at the entrance, but Robert Green did meet us the next day for an interview. One of the people that I had made arrangements to meet when I went up there was Robert Green, so I had gone all the way to Edinburgh with a lot of difficulty and a lot of heartache. Got the interview from him. So of course it's of great distress to us to now, some time back, 2 years later, turn around and look at all of this and go, hang on, what's going on here? There looks like there could be issues with this case, and have we done the right thing in putting ourselves out and going out on a limb to try and get this guy some exposure for the case that he's fronting? I would just like to say, when the Hollie Greig Hoax group approached me, we literally, it forced me to look at some of the evidence that they had compiled. I felt that there were some things that needed clarification from both sides. So I'm not going to say too much more because I can't really do it much more justice. So with no further ado, I'm going to give them a chance to make themselves heard. I would, just before I do that, like to say for the record that this is not a trial, and Freedom Central is only the impartial facilitator of a two-way question-answer session. No judgment shall be drawn by us either way. Rather, we leave it up to you, the intelligent, discerning listener, to make up your own mind about these matters and decide how you want to approach this matter and with your attitudes. It's really of no concern to us what you do with this information. We're only making it available, and as I said, it's not about judging anybody. So let me go over to the group who I know are waiting anxiously on the other side. I had them on earlier, and I'll give them a quick Skype call. Just to say, tonight we are joined by 5 members of the Hollie Greig Hoax group, including 2 of the accused, but I'll let them introduce themselves, as I believe they also have some statements to make. So I'm just going to give them a quick ring. Hello? 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 Hello, hello. Hello. It's a symphony of hello. Hello, ladies. It's lovely to have you all on. So let me start with Sarah. Sarah, do you want to get started first?
Yes. Hello, Mel.
Hello.
I'd like to thanks for having us all on. And yeah, I'm just going to read out a little short statement that's from all of us, just sort of to put where we're coming from across first.
Okay.
Now, this, some of this info might be difficult for people to take in, but we've been working on this for a long time, so I'll just start, and I'll take it slowly so we can go.
Yes.
Okay, so we're a collective, and we all believe that the stories of Hollie Greig's abuse were made up to begin with, and embellished over time by Anne Greig, Robert Green and others. And we were all once supporters of the campaign, but through experience with the Hollie Greig campaign members, spending time with the falsely accused, and extensive and diligent research, we've all reached the same conclusions, maybe at different times though. And we believe that Hollie has never been sexually abused. And we believe Anne is mentally unstable. And what started as revenge on her husband spiralled into accusations of 22 people being listed as paedophiles, accusations of police and doctors, teachers and the judiciary colluding to cover it up, and culminating in the entire Scottish Government allegedly being complicit in the cover-up of a satanic Masonic ring of paedophiles that run Scotland. This Anne should really be feel sorry for Anne in lots of ways. She has been aided in her delusions via certain key members of the UK truth community, and those are primarily Robert Green, who is a self-styled investigative journalist and a legal lay advisor to Anne, and who in fact did no investigation and has no legal experience. Belinda Mackenzie is another one, who is quite a well-known truth movement campaigner. She spun the Hollie Greig tale to get a maximum emotional and now a financial response from supporters. Brian Gerrish, he's used the Hollie Greig story to promote his own UK column agenda, child stealing by the state, and without doing any of his own research into the stories. David Icke, and he's perhaps has the biggest audience share, so he's done the most to promote it. This idea that Scotland is run by a satanic Masonic cult. So that's what he's been telling the world on his talk tours. I heard him say it in Maui. So we are really delighted to be invited onto your show, Mel, and to be given a platform, and we are here to answer questions and to discuss our own experiences of it. We also have some questions of our own. And we've been answering questions for a long time on Facebook. We're quite well versed. And we're very pleased to be able to bring the other side and the full story. And that's the story that really is a falsely accused story to a wider audience. So thank you. And my name's Sarah McLeod. And there's another 4 of us online tonight. So we have Wynne Dragonsmith and Sylvia Major. So could you say... How are you tonight? How are you?
Thanks. Excellent.
Good. Would you want to just say a wee bit about yourself, please, Wynne?
Okay, yep. I am one of the 22 falsely accused by Anne. Obviously, I live in Aberdeen. 3 years ago, I was absolutely devastated when I